You are a highly complex individual living on a unique planet in the vastly empty universe. You have, at best, only 100 years to live. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to spend most of your time lying around, doing mediocre things? Or are you going to make life worthwhile and do something valuable? This book will help you to change your life for the better. The author Steve Chandler first met Arnold Schwarzenegger in 1976. It was in a restaurant in Arizona. Arnold was not popular yet, and no one recognized him. Steve was a journalist for the local newspaper. His assignment was to spend a day with Arnold and write a feature story about him. Arnold was promoting his first film then, entitled Stay Hungry. It was a market flop, but Arnold just seemed very happy to be cast in a movie. So there they were, eating at the table, and Steve was asking questions. Arnold Schwarzenegger was very young then, but he had won several awards from bodybuilding. He was very huge and muscular. He also had this strong accent, being born and raised in Austria. People doubted if he would be famous. Steve asked, "Now that you've achieved Mr. Universe, what's your next plan?" Arnold casually answered, "I'm going to be the biggest box office star in Hollywood." Steve was stunned. Arnold said it like it was nothing, like he was just talking about his travel plans for the weekend. "Well, how are you going to do that?" said Steve. "It's just like what I did in bodybuilding. I created a clear vision of who I want to be, and then I lived as if my vision is already true," explained Arnold. All those years of bodybuilding, Arnold envisioned himself standing at the center of the stage and posing as Mr. Universe. He trained hard and focused on the goal. Eventually, he reached it. Steve wrote Arnold's answer in his notebook, and he never forgot about it. A few years later, Steve heard on the news that Terminator 2 was the #1 box office movie all over the world. Everybody knew who Arnold Schwarzenegger was. Steve Chandler taught what he learned from Arnold in his training seminars and speaking events later on. Steve remembered that Arnold said, "Create a vision. You should not wait to receive a vision. You, as the dreamer, should actively create it." Every morning, think about the reason why you need to get up from bed, why you should stay hungry in life. Try to create your vision today. What kind of person do you want to be? What do you want to achieve? Create that clear vision in your mind and live it. Henry Ford used to tell his employees that every difficult task could be handled if they are broken down into smaller, easier pieces. If you have a task that you have been dreading to do, remember that you can always start slow. Let's say you need to clean the kitchen or you need to finish backlog projects at work. It's okay if you start doing it in slow motion. The reason why the task scares you and you cannot get started is because you think you need a great amount of energy to do it. But what if you just start slow? At least you have started moving, and at least you are making progress. You don't need to force yourself. While you are doing your task slowly, you would get used to it, and you will fall into a natural rhythm. Eventually, you will pick up the pace. Remember that starting slowly is better than not starting at all. When you spend hours watching TV, Netflix, or YouTube, you are actually just sitting or lying there, watching other people do what they love and make the most out of life. What if you do not watch your favorite shows for a day and see what you can actually do? Do not find life in the experiences of other people. Find life on your own. Here is a challenge for you. Try to remember a scene, a clip, or a video that you watched last month. Can you recall anything? Next, try to remember an interesting idea that you learned from a book. You probably won't remember anything you have watched last month. The images just pass through your eyes. But the lesson from a book sticks to your mind. Thus, reading a book can have a better impact on your life. So instead of watching cooking shows, travel vlogs, or music performances, why not do these activities on your own? You will feel a lot better than just viewing from a screen. You will have fun, learn, and feel good about yourself. You will experience many things instead of just watching other people do it. Promise the moon. Here is one other effective way to get yourself moving. Make a huge promise to someone you deeply care about, or set a big scary goal at work. Take it to the heart. Accept the challenge and do whatever it takes to fulfill that promise. Many years ago, President John Kennedy spoke on national television and promised that America will put the first man on the moon. The people at NASA worked hard and gave 100% effort to make it come true. It was an outrageous idea, but the Apollo 13 mission became a success. Once, there was a casino owner in Las Vegas who paid for the space of a huge billboard. The casino owner had it written there, "Media, person reading a billboard, close-up of a billboard. Anyone who catches me smoking a cigarette in the next 3 months will get $100,000. The casino owner was a chain smoker, you see, and he really wanted to quit his bad habit. A promise is powerful. You do not want to put people down and you do not want to feel disappointed. So, it will move you into action. Steve Chandler once made a promise to his kids. They love going into summer camp. There was this one camp in Arizona with breathtaking nature and fun-filled activities for the participants. Steve's kids wanted to go, but the registration fee was expensive. Taking all of them there would cost a lot. At the time that Steve made his promise, everything was going well in his work. He was confident that his kids could go. However, as summer was coming near, Steve's family had a tight budget. He was not getting sales commissions like he used to. One day, Steve decided to confess to his kids that he would not be able to keep the promise. He could not forget the disappointment on the face of his youngest child. Bobby, who was 8 years old, sadly and softly said, "But you promised." Steve realized his mistake. He felt bad for letting his kids down. After a few moments, he spoke again. He said, "You know what? You did remind me that a promise is a promise. From this day, I will do my best to get you all to camp. I'm sorry that I let you down." And so, what Steve did is to change jobs. He became a motivational speaker, and he had several events lined up for him. For his signing bonus, he requested for the exact amount for all his kids to join summer camp. Steve did it, and he felt really good for keeping his promise. Make somebody's day. Steve Chandler has a theory that if you create luck in other people's life, you will become lucky too. For example, if you know someone who is in trouble financially and you have money to spare, you can send it to the person's address without signing your name on it. Steve has tried it, and he was very amazed that lucky opportunities came to him a few days later. Your help doesn't always have to be money. It can be food, clothes, or anything that the person needs. When you experience luck, you will feel motivated. You will think that the universe is on your side. Why not try Steve's luck theory? Even if you're just a student or a simple employee, there are ways in which you can give luck to others. Do not think negative thoughts like people will take advantage of you or they would not appreciate what you did. Just keep going. Welcome luck in your life by making other people lucky. Replace worry with action. Are you worrying about something? When you find yourself worrying once again, jump into action. Do something about what it is you are worrying about. Just do anything. Stop yourself from worrying without end. Move. Instead of thinking about how you feel, think of what you can do. One night, Steve Chandler had an argument with his wife. The next morning, he found himself worrying about the things he said, and he could not do anything else. Steve did not let himself be swallowed by his emotions. He thought about what he can do. Once he decided to stop worrying and take action, a few ideas came into Steve's mind. 1. He could send flowers for his wife. 2. He could call her and apologize. 3. He can write a note for her. 4. He could personally go to her so that they can talk. Steve then became busy about how he can reach out to his wife, rather than just sitting and thinking repeatedly about his mistakes. When you keep on worrying, the problem just gets bigger in your mind. It turns into a monster that can defeat you. Here is a solution that Steve suggests. List the worries which are bothering you and give 5 minutes to take action for each one. 5 minutes does not solve the problem instantly, but at least you have done something and you have taken the first step. Run with the thinkers. There was once a president of an office equipment company who had this problem. There are whiners in his company. He wants to know how to stop them from whining and start thinking of solutions. The president was talking about the managers who report to him. There are two types of them. There are the whiners and then the thinkers. The whiners are intelligent. They work extra hours every day and they are dedicated. However, when they go to report at the president's office, they do nothing but complain. The whiners talk about what the other managers are doing wrong, and they point out the problem in the company's system. The president feels exhausted in the meeting with whiners because they always say negative things. The president tries to make them feel better, and because of that, he becomes depressed himself. The thinkers, meanwhile, are totally different. They also notice the problems that the whiners see, but when reporting, the thinkers have already come up with solutions. The whiners feel frustrated and worried. They get stuck in those emotions. They justify their reactions and stay negative that way. On the other hand, the thinkers rise above those emotions. They always think, what can they do about it? That is why the president enjoys his meeting with the thinkers, because it is creative. They brainstorm about the possible solution and see how can it be carried out. Both the president and the thinker feel good after the meeting because they are productive. Are you a whiner or a thinker? Don't let your emotions get in the way. Clear your mind and start to think. Being a thinker will also increase your self-esteem, improve your relationships, and move you toward success. Exploit your weakness. Have you thought about your strengths and weaknesses? Here's an exercise for you. Write them in separate sheets of paper. Think about all your strengths and list them one by one. You can put that strengths list on your office desk or kitchen table at home. Whenever you're in a bad mood, being reminded of your strengths will cheer you up. Now for your weaknesses, study them one by one. Reflect on them. Try to think that each one of your weaknesses is not a negative trait. Instead, they are only interesting characteristics of yours. Do not think of them as an obstacle or source of shame anymore. See your weaknesses as just some facts about you. There was once a famous tap dancer called Peg Leg Bates. He was often featured on TV. Bates lost one of his legs when he was still a child. This was heartbreaking for him because he had always dreamed to be a dancer. But eventually, Bates realized that he still really wanted to dance. He did not let his disability stop him. Bates attached a tap at the bottom of his wooden leg. He practiced hard and soon developed amazing tap dance routines. At auditions, Bates sure did stand out from the crowd. The judges always noticed him. That was how Peg Leg Bates turned his weakness into strength. Michael Bassoff was a master fundraiser. He was known to develop employees to be skilled fundraisers too, like himself. Bassoff believed in the idea of turning weakness into strength. He once met a very shy secretary. What Bassoff did is to make the young woman realize her good quality as a best listener. The secretary did not talk much, but it turns out she is good at making people feel valued and appreciated. Steve Chandler became a father at 35 years old. He thought that he was too old to have small children. He wondered if his 4 children would be comfortable to go out with him. One day, Steve and his kids watched The Little Mermaid. Steve saw himself in Ariel's father. He was very old with long, white flowing hair, but he was a wise and strong king. Steve began to think that he was not mature yet when he was 25, and so he realized that 35 and beyond is the perfect time for him to be a father. There is not one weakness in the world which cannot be turned into a strength. You only have to get over the feeling of embarrassment. It's a big hurdle, but try really hard. Embarrassment is keeping you from finding ways on how to transform your weakness. If you win over it and think, you can see the many possibilities from your unique quality. Put more enjoyment in. Do you think that pleasure and enjoyment are totally the same thing? The truth is, they are not. Pleasure and enjoyment have a huge difference from one another. You should know it because this will lead you to a more focused and motivated life. Pleasure refers to worldly needs such as food, water, and sex. Enjoyment, meanwhile, has a much deeper meaning. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi is a respected psychologist. He describes enjoyment as being in the state of flow. As written in his all-time best-selling book, you are in the flow when you are fully engaged in an activity and time just seems to pass by. Thus, enjoyment is having an activity that you love the most in the world. It is when you accept challenges to improve your skill. Let's take, for example, people who won in lotteries. They feel pleasure upon winning. They feel very happy. However, there is no long-term success and happiness in having money that you did not earn. Most lottery winners and instant millionaires say that winning only made their lives worse. Enjoyment is the journey of earning money. It is the day-to-day challenges and victories that you go through. The struggle of earning is what makes money worthwhile. Another example of pleasure is watching TV. Even if you watch for hours, you will soon realize that you get nothing life-changing or valuable in it. You forget all the shows after a while. But compare that to preparing a holiday dinner for your family. There's a lot of work to do and you become exhausted. But you think that everything is worth it when all your loved ones are having fun together. And so, to put enjoyment in your life, accept challenges and become better at what you do. Find an activity you love, like gardening, cooking, painting, or running, and improve your skill. Laugh for no reason. You do not need to wait for the right mood to laugh, dance, sing, jump, or smile. Why? Because doing these fun activities is what will get you in the mood. If you have a problem, if you feel down, encourage yourself to laugh or smile. Even if you look crazy, just try it. That short laugh or slight smile will make you feel better. What's your favorite song? Have it prepared anywhere you go so that you can lighten up your mood anytime. Turn the volume high and sing with it. Maybe you'll feel stupid and think that nothing is changing, but just fake it until you make it. Just keep on singing. After a few minutes, you would not feel so sad anymore. Did you know that Zen monks practice laughing meditation? They group together in a circle. When the instructor hits the gong, the monks would all start to laugh. Even if there is absolutely no reason, the monks just do it. Have you ever been in this situation? You see your friends laughing so hard about something, and you begin to laugh as well, even if you do not know what's funny. Children do it too. Have you ever noticed how kids giggle among each other? Just by looking at each other's faces, they begin to laugh and they seem so happy. Laughter is contagious. Wouldn't you want to laugh too? At first, your laugh will seem controlled, but soon it will turn into genuine laughter. Conclusion. Let us recap the 10 ways to motivate yourself that you learned in this summary. 1. Stay hungry. Have a clear vision of who you want to be and live it every day. 2. Light your lazy dynamite. Start with your task even if you do it slowly. 3. Kill your television. Do not watch other people having fun. Do the fun activities yourself. 4. Promise the moon. Make a commitment, then do whatever it takes to fulfill it. 5. Make somebody's day. If you bring luck in other people's life, you will be lucky as well. 6. Replace your worry with action. Even a small step is better than being paralyzed by worry. 7. Run with the thinkers. Rise above your emotions, clear your mind, and think about the solution. 8. Exploit your weakness. Stop being embarrassed about your weakness. It is what makes you unique, and it can be your advantage. 9. Put more enjoyment in. Challenge is what makes an activity enjoyable. Overcome challenges and take your skill to the next level. 10. Laugh for no reason. You do not need a reason to smile, laugh, sing, or dance. Doing it is what will put you in the mood. Hopefully, these all helped you make you feel better. There's always a reason for you to move and do something. Remember that yesterday doesn't matter. Do your best today so you will have a good future. Thank you for watching. If you found this summary helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more life-changing content. Stay motivated and see you in the next video.